Hey guys, it's Mongolian Mindset, and today we have how you say your name? I don't want to fuck it up.
Armor, armor.
Amr. I ain't wanna mess it up. With us today, and we're gonna be finding out his personality type. It's a cool guy, man. Very interesting guy. I've known him for a while. Can you introduce yourself?
What up? My name is Amr Tajuddin. In Ireland. I've been here for 17 years. Ethnically Egyptian. And yeah, that's pretty much for it. I'm 28.
Hmm.
And yeah, I've been into typology for about 10 years now, I think. 10
Yeah.
years or more.
What appealed you to get into typology?
At the beginning, I wanted to understand other people more because I used to find that integrating with some people was really awkward, and I didn't understand their perspective at all. So I wanted to like know people more for the sake of teamwork and relationships and so on. But then it turned into wanting to find out more about me.
Mhm.
That actually came at a later stage. So yeah, that's pretty much it, what got me into it. I only started my journey from like 16 personalities, like the website, the test. But then I took a break. I didn't actually dive in too deep into it until I got into the CSJ group.
Mhm.
That's where it kind of hit it off like 4 years ago, 5 years ago now.
Mhm.
That's where I hit it off really. And that's where I started diving into the depth of the cognitive functions and the interaction styles and so on. So, and I'm still at it. So yeah,
Oh, man, exciting, exciting. What do you think is the most useful part of typology?
the most useful
Yes, besides you like implementation.
implementation. I think in terms of typology, it's good to understand which cognitive functions you need to improve, but also you need to make goals and practical steps on how to improve it and not just say, oh, I need to improve TE parents, for example. That's not good enough, you know. You need to like how are you gonna do it? It's like, okay, I'm gonna be on time, more punctual 3 times this week in my meetings, for example. That's more TE. Or I'm gonna organize 2 more things this month for other people. You
Hmm.
know, that's how you improve it. You need to actually find ways to improve it on the ground. If it's an introverted function, for example, then you need to make a plan for yourself on how to self-reflect more, for example. That's what's useful because we can talk about the abstract bits of it all we want, but if we don't find the use to what we're doing, like what's the point of it, you know, at the end of the day? That's just my opinion. I know some people out there love it for the sake of it, but
Hmm.
I want to find the point to it, use to it.
Hmm. Yeah. Me personally, I told Thomas them a while ago, like you don't have to go so big into depth, like just noticing like, okay, this person's an FI user versus an FE user, and tailoring your game to be more appealing to that person. You don't have to go like super in depth, like this person's an ISTJ or just using the basics to kind of increase your ability to communicate with that person.
Yeah.
Um, um, but yeah, I think when it comes to the other things, it's always going to be tough. I think um, the hero and inferior function, that thing there, man, that's going to take work for the entire life. I don't think there's any way around that. Um, just because of the attitude.
Yeah, it's not just about like the functions itself. Like I know some people out there they like attach their personality type into their whole life. Like it becomes almost like a philosophy for them. And
Hmm.
then if it doesn't work out, then it's as if their entire persona has collapsed and they no longer have a life purpose. I find that ridiculous, I'll be honest with you,
Hmm.
because we're way more than 4 cognitive functions or 8 cognitive functions or 4 letters, you know,
Hmm.
where we are way more than just interaction styles. You get me? Because nurture, I maintain this view. Nurture is way bigger than we
Yeah.
think it is
Hmm.
in terms of our development.
Hmm.
And we actually can control a lot of the nurture that happens to us. That's what we should be striving for.
Yeah, I mean, if you change your environment, you can change a lot of things about yourself. You just need to change the environment. I think a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people have a very tough time with actually tackling that metric of life. Just they just don't ever like put themselves outside of the box and think, if I actually leave this city, everything will change, and I won't have these same problems, or like things like that in general. Um, I don't think people actually um, come up with like an action plan, and it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable for a little bit, but I mean, if you have a strategy or a plan of how you're going to attack something, I think you'll do just fine.
Yeah, I mean that's what separates a dream from a goal. It's the risk you take.
Mhm.
Everyone dreams. Everyone can dream. Everyone can have nice little la la land moments. But if you wanna get something done, you need to take a risk with it. Like I'm not saying I take risks all the time, but like if I desperately want something, then I will take some risk.
Mhm. Yeah, it's calculated risk, man. Understanding just how
Yeah,
much you can handle with a loss or whatnot. But where you see yourself in 10 years, man?
10 years, man. I can't imagine that far. I actually have a hard time envisioning my life for more than a year or two. I don't know why. Um, I see myself maybe setting up like some sort of like self development or coaching. Uh, like I don't know, I don't want to call it company, but basically to help young people figure out what things they want to do in their careers. Because I see a lot of people around me, a lot of young people around me. They're so aimless. It's one thing to not be sure exactly about what you want, and it's one thing to be hedonistic.
Mhm.
And I see a lot of young people are hedonistic, and I think that I want to help them out. Um, I see a lot of I see a lot of my worth from helping people. To be honest, like if I'm able to help people and contribute to what they do and impact their lives to the better, that for me is a really big plus. You know, because like I have achieved some things in my personal life. And I did feel happy, of course. I'm not going to deny that, but I feel better when I make something or give advice and people take it and it actually benefits them. So I see myself in 10 years, like maybe opening up something that helps people in that time. Where will I live? I don't know. I don't mind living in Ireland, but I think I would want to investigate more, maybe go to the UK or Australia, possibly Canada. So I'll see. But
Okay.
I honestly cannot envision more than like a year. I have a hard time. That's why my plans are all like a year long. It's never more than a year long, but it's usually detailed. So
Yeah, yeah. Man, yeah. It's I mean, for me, I've kind of always had like a vision of kind of where I wanted to go. Just naturally. Had the same kind of vision since I was a kid. And
mm,
I get older, the things kind of get a little bit more complex. It's kind of like an impossible mission. And then every year it kind of gets like even more and more complex. But eventually we'll get to that route. I've always, ever since I was a kid, wanted to go into politics, man. Even when I was my plan, even going to medical school, I was only going to do it for like 10, 15 years, get enough money for that, and go into politics. It's always been the same thing. The route's always been the same. It's literally like everything just funnels back to that vision I've always had for myself, which is it's kind of odd you don't have one, but I guess it's pivot,
Yeah. I
pivot.
mean, I would love to find a vision. I would love to find a vision for myself, but I actually have a hard time putting it down. Like when someone tells me, okay, where do you imagine yourself in 5 years? I actually don't know how to imagine that, because for me, it's like I need a lot of variables to be fixed first before I can do that. That's just me.
Hmm.
I can't actually imagine it properly.
Hmm.
That's the thing.
So you can't like glorize the end product as well. You gotta kind of have to see like the measurable steps to get there. That was kind of hitting it.
Like like I need at least a few things settled, like if someone was to tell me what career goal do you have for the next 10 years, then I'll need to be in a career that I see myself that I'm okay at the start. I need to have some money saved up. I need to be in a location where it allows for that career growth.
Hmm.
So these kind of things I need first before I can say, oh, I'm gonna be this thing in 10 years time, and then take it on from there. But if I don't have anything set in stone from the beginning, I find it very, very difficult. I find it extremely difficult to imagine.
Oh man, dope.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I always feel like I romanticize the end product, like it's just like a dream, a fairy. I just like and everything just like flows that way. Like my body just moves. It just, I don't know, it just moves that way. It's scary. It's absolutely scary. But things just seem to like pan out, and things just start to work, and they start to form, and it's like, yo, what the hell's going on here? I'm getting closer to the thing. It's like I'm getting closer to this like thing, and it's just working. I don't know. It's like I just have this goal, and it's scary, man. It's fucking scary. Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, bro, you can't write this shit in a book. Um, but yeah, I think that just, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that because I have one of my friends, right? I think he's an INFJ, right?
Mhm.
Um, he's just every time he meets me, he just casually tells me, he's like, man, it's not that hard. Just write down where you want to be in 30 years and track it back, you know? And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? I can't imagine myself in 5 days, like 10 days. What are you like smoking? Like I don't know how to do that. He knows how to do that. That's fine, but like I can't be like that. I don't know how to be like that. But if I do find like suddenly, oh, there's this one purpose I suddenly realize is important, I will make a plan for it. I will make a long-term plan for it.
Mhm.
Because the thing is, I can make a plan very effective,
Mhm.
but and I have made plans for other people very effective. But to make a very, very long-term plan about something that I'm not 100% sure of yet, that won't work. I'm gonna keep doubting it, and I'm gonna keep correcting the system and correcting the plan, and it's just not gonna go well. And to be honest, a lot of systems out there are rubbish anyway. They're they're not effective enough. They're not accurate.
Mhm.
Like the MBTI system, sometimes I'm not gonna lie. You see, you see people they're trying to define certain things within the MBTI community and the cognitive functions and the interaction styles and so on and so forth. And they describe it in the stupidest way ever. And then they expect people to follow it. And then they expect it to make sense. And then they expect enlightenment. And then they expect all that stuff to happen. And I'm like, you didn't accurately describe it from the beginning. The principles are false, and then you expect people to jump on, yay, like people need to wake up a bit. That's
Yeah, yeah. Um, that's I mean, yeah. You do, but what do you think is something that could possibly cause a purpose in your life?
something that could cause a purpose. If I find with the means and the money I have currently, uh, a sort of a vision where I can help people with. So, like for example, one of my friends, he suddenly realized because he's a self-made you know, like he makes big money, let's just say that. And he suddenly just realized, he was talking about this with us. He just suddenly woke up and he realized, oh, I can have so many people by investing this money in some third world country and building, wells there and houses there and so on. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make that my life project from now on. So if something like that was to happen to me, then yeah, that would probably be how it would come about, I think.
Yeah. Well, well, I think, man, me personally, probably at the end of my life, I'll probably come up with a way to do somewhat of a philanthropy type thing. But in general, I kind of want to take care of my generations as well. So I'll probably implement some type of system or structure to where they can borrow money and be ahead of everybody else, but not enabling them as well. So I've been thinking about that a lot, like a type of system where they can borrow money, but they have to pay it back, but it continues to stay within the family. And if they don't pay it back, then they can never borrow again. Some type of system like that, you know. 'Cause I mean, it's got to go into the future, so it has to project. Like, I'm not gonna be there to be like, look at someone's character and be like, "All right, you're a piece of shit. Like, you don't deserve to borrow any money." So it's got to be a leverage, or some type of way to, be able to monitor that, but also giving them, those who actually want to be good or great, an ability to go and attain that. Um,
I respect that. I respect people who want to make their future generations um, have I won't say a very comfortable life, but at least not a life full of hardship. Let's just say that. I, I respect that. And I respect people who want to be independent from like a lot of government reliance or bank reliance and so on, because I personally, I'm all for that.
mhm,
One of my friends, he actually implemented an entire system for his sons um, to be homeschooled in a very effective way that's actually better than a lot of the public schools here. And he already implemented it, and it's been in plan for about 2 years now. And I really respect that, because I know that a lot of the time now that the control we have over what we say to our own future kids is going to be minimal.
mhm.
We're not going to really have much say in that anymore, which is frightening and downright dangerous as well. So I do respect people who do find solutions like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my entire life purpose would kind of go up in smoke if you don't have like a legacy, like kids, you know. It'd be like, what am I
Mm,
suffering for? What am I getting up every day and busting these goals down? What am I like doing all this for? And so, like, to me, setting up the future kids and whatnot is something that I aim to do. Generational wealth. You know, why the fuck I bust my
mm,
ass? You know, why the fuck did I do all this? You know, why did I put myself in the shittiest conditions? Why did I put myself in, like, when I could, like, go and tour the world because I fucking
yeah.
make enough money, you know? But to me, it just doesn't make me happy, you know. So
Mm, mm, mm.
kind of like the whole thing for me, like, but um. hmm, Let's see here. How was college for you, man?
College. Um, College life was okay. I don't know if you got like I don't want to go too deeply into the study itself, but like college life itself was fine. I made a good few friends. Um, it was a nice balance between education and fun, I would say.
Mhm.
Um, I would say the environment there was too liberal and too censoring for my liking. I didn't like that bit. Because you have a lot of sides talking and screaming and shouting and crying, and I'll be honest, like half of them are BS. They don't make sense to me.
Mhm.
They're just it's like watching a really bad version of South Park in a way, or like it's it's kind of stupid, honestly. That bit I didn't enjoy, but I did like the educational aspect. I like the fun, well, playing a lot of sports, um, going on trips and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you seem like you play a lot of sports, man. How were you like? How did you um how did you learn sports, man?
How did I learn sports?
Yeah.
I started swimming when I was four, I think,
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5, something like that. Yeah. I started swimming, and swimming was the first sport I actually learned. I learned it for about 6 years, but yeah, and it was a really fun. But to be honest, the sports teachers weren't European or American, and so they were like Egyptian and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they were rough. They would beat your ass if you got it wrong. Like that kind of environment.
Yeah.
So there was some like a bit of trauma in there, but like I have to say they were very effective in teaching me.
Mm-hmm.
I also learned well, running and santry for like 3 4 years, and actually learning running actually made me improve a lot when I started learning football as well, because I only started learning football, aka well, soccer, but I started learning football for like when I was 13 or 12,
Mm-hmm.
and made it I made it to a local team in 2.5 years. You know, that usually never happens. You
Mm-hmm.
need to have learned it for a while. But because of my physique at the time, and the other sports I played, it made it easier for me to go into the teams. I'm not saying I was like the best in the team or anything, but at least I made it to the team in 2.5 years. That in itself is an achievement. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love football the most now, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, bro. I sucked ass at sports, man. I just couldn't. I had like two left feet, bro. Like no matter what it was, like I always
You're
had.
very good in the gym, now. You're
Yeah,
very
I
good in the gym.
mean, yeah. But when I started, man, it was terrible. I always tell everybody, like my older brother he's an ENTP, and he would be like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, are you retarded? Like, why is one arm going up before the other one?" Like, I literally had like absolutely no bodily control whatsoever, and that's the
Mm,
reason why I say that I sucked ass at sports. I only got a lot better at sports when I could visualize myself doing it before I did it. So once I
mm,
visualized myself doing it, or I visualized myself being like in, let's say in my head, I would say, okay, I'm Randy Moss or whatever. So when I visualized myself being Randy Moss or something, I stopped dropping the football, But before that, I would drop the
yeah.
football. But it only came to me later in life where I was like, if I visualize myself being the best in the sport, and my body just started to like kind of do it on its own, which is crazy. But I didn't figure that out
Mm,
until I was later in life. I wish I'd have known that as a kid. But
mm.
when I was a kid, it was like I tried practice, and just sucked ass, man. Just sucked ass. It's just terrible, bro. It's terrible. Like two
Man,
left.
we started sports in very different ways. The way I started football was just going in training,
Mhm.
and then they were like, I was like, I don't know what to do here. I was like, oh, just dive in. It's like, okay, let's dive in. And I would
Mhm.
just go in, anger, aggression, just do everything wrong, but who cares? Just have fun.
Mhm.
That's that's the way I did it. I kind of learn on the go. That's the
Mhm. Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
very like even among my friends, I was known to be the most aggressive person in football and sports.
yeah,
Mad, mad aggressive. Yeah, yeah. Like very competitive. Um, and I would make like the most harsh tackles. People would be going like off the field because of me and stuff. It was rough.
yeah, it's crazy. Like shit, man. I mean, I'm very competitive, very, 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 very competitive. Man, I just fucking suck. But like once I started like visualizing myself, like with the sports and stuff, like I just got really competitive. Like one time I got so bold that I like challenged my older brother. And like my older brother, he was about to play in the NFL. So I bold as shit, you know. Like a couple years ago, like I was trash can. And now like I had like kind of like came up with this method that worked for me. So like I'm talking shit to him and he just like fucking shut me down. I'm just like, yo, I can't move. Like he knew exactly what pattern, like I don't know if it's like some his NE or something, but he knew what pattern recognition that I wanted to go where it was, and I just couldn't do nothing. I was like, yo, fucking level out here, you know.
But
But
you're playing against someone who's very like on top of the level.
yeah, yeah.
You
But
know,
it
that's like me. That's like me playing against a semi-professional like football player. I would be smoked. I'd be killed on the field. You know, it's the same,
yeah,
it's the same thing. Like,
but
yeah, yeah,
it was a humbling experience.
yeah. What you learn from them, man. You learn from them. You know,
Yeah,
it's
what
the
I learned from it
experiences.
is a different level.
Yeah, experiences that are tough and like the ones that humble you is the ones that make you like mature. Honestly,
Mhm.
that's how life is. If your whole life is comfortable, then you're still a kid, even
Yeah.
if you're 30 years old or 40 years old.
Yeah, if you never challenge, you
Yeah,
have to challenge yourself as a person.
damn right, damn right.
Who you want to be is, I think, just you got to make the best of every day. And the thing about that, if you make the best of every day, in the future, you will have the future you want because you're tackling the things today to get to the future. People look at the future, but they don't tackle the fucking things they need to tackle today to get to the future. That's what I
Yeah,
see with people a lot. You know,
mm,
it's kind of like they're just hoping for something,
yeah,
not doing the things they need to do today to get to where they want to be in the future. And you can't just hope for the future. You gotta set that shit up. So,
mm,
um,
yeah. Where's Thomas and Shelly? I didn't hear him. I didn't see him. I didn't do it. The hell?
Thomas, you want to say anything?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, just been hanging out listening. But I guess to continue with questions, what are three things like if you had three wishes, what would they be? If
Hmm,
you could have any three things.
only three things. Um, I would want a job I love that makes me work remotely, work from home, so I can travel anywhere and work from anywhere. Um, I would have, I would want a lot of money so I can pay back my parents, but also make an investment for my family and my future family. That would be a second one. The third one, I don't know. I think the third one will be it will sound really strange, okay? But have the ability to be free from government control.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I do not want to be tied down by stupid rules that I know are gonna happen in the future, and it's gonna affect us all. So yeah, I don't want to be, you know, tied down and shut down because of some stupid idiot in some parliament decided, oh, if you don't follow my opinion, then you're all wrong. You know, that makes me vomit.
Yeah, I get that.
Man,
Um,
yeah, I'm gonna ask one thing. If you could make anything from the abstract world real, what would you make and why?
Can you repeat that? Cut off a bit. Sorry.
All right. So if you could have anything from the abstract world and you could make it real, what would you take and why? It could be anything as like Pokemon, be anything as Dragon Ball Z, it could be anything like Harry Potter, Star
Mm.
Wars. Um,
Mm. From the abstract world.
yeah, that's anything.
Mm. Man, what the hell? Um, maybe I don't know how abstract it is, but maybe the ability to teleport and see aliens. Maybe I would want to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would want
Yeah,
to see
you ain't gonna get much out of that, right?
what?
I said, you ain't gonna get much out of that. You know, they might experiment on your ass.
No, but like, yeah, I don't know, man. It'll be something like that, like, or I guess some people who have superpowers, like maybe the Avengers or something. But I don't know, man. Like, because the abstract world, there's so many things in it that you don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to think from it.
Mhm.
It's yeah. It's why is it so difficult for me? I don't know.
Shit, I was thinking about Gundams, man. I kind of always wanted to be a Gundam pilot. That'd be kind of fun. And like, I kind of thought about that, like when I was a kid, when I used to watch Gundam, I was like, man, I'd love to be a Gundam pilot and kill other people, and like, and be the best Gundam pilot, you know, like send me out on a mission, like it's me, and like everybody's like depending on their freedom on me and me winning. Fucking love that shit.
That's that sounds a lot of responsibility as well, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know. I've kind of always.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I would see that. I would see the value in that because I wouldn't mind having some superpowers that make me implement the implement fairness into the world. Because I see a lot of unfairness that's happening around the world. So I would use my powers to just basically control like a lot of these people, like behave, or else this kind of attitude. Yeah, but I don't know exactly what to pick. To be honest, I find it hard.
Mhm.
Mm.
Oh, dope. Hmm. If you were to go to jail for anything, what would it be and why?
Whew. uh, two things that come in mind. Um, Speed driving, because I got a few tickets from that already. But yeah, speed driving probably one. The other one would be saying something super mega controversial and it gets me locked up, probably.
That'll get you in jail.
Well, in the current world, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they'll get you in jail. It might get your ass canceled, but
Mm,
will make your life hell.
mm,
That's what they do now. They make your life hell. You can't do shit.
that's technically house arrest, isn't
That's technically like you don't want that. I mean, and then they go after your family. People are fucking nasty little motherfuckers, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, in 4 or 5 years,
Yeah, prediction.
unless some other culture out there dominates the world, uh, cancel culture and far left liberalist movements are gonna make this world a prison. That is absolutely gonna happen. There is no doubt that's gonna happen. It's already happening at a speed that is terrifying. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that a lot of these views are being seen as the norm now,
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely gonna happen.
I think this is my prediction. That actually cancel culture is going to go away. I think that the way they're sensitizing people to things, people are going to just say "fuck this," and they're not going to give a fuck about anything. I think it's going to go actually in the reverse.
Mm.
But no one will give a fuck about anything anymore because of this whole kind of thing. People losing their livelihoods and all that. Like people are eventually gonna say, "Fuck this, we're done with this." But
I think you're right, but I have something to say to that. Most people are comfort zone oriented. So
mhm,
even if they want something, like, I mean, I'm looking at my country now and the Middle East, a lot of these people who rule the Middle East are tyrants, right? But
mhm,
the people don't do much because they don't have much power to hold it, and maybe they don't want to take too much risk. But I do think your point is going to happen if another mega power from another political view starts to at least be the same power as what's going
mhm.
on now.
Yeah.
then people will wake up and say, "Oh, there's others like us. We're not the only ones who hate this."
Mm-hmm.
And then it will start to come up. I think, yeah, that would happen.
I think just when people start, because it's gonna keep going, and the thing is that people like losing livelihoods, like everything they work for overnight with that shit, and
Yeah,
it can only continue to go so far before people just say, you know what, this is we kind of pushed this too far, and people we need to like adjust this because it's way too much. Like people getting kicked out of sports teams, you know, people losing franchises. And you know, like we're all human, we all make mistakes. But to lose everything you've ever had and not even be able to like hold a job anymore because of like maybe one thing you tweeted or said, that's a little ridiculous. Um, but they're having fun with it now. But I think in the long term, it'll flip on the reverse in the long term.
yeah. I mean, I see it, but the thing is, I see a lot of these other counter views are actually the same, but just in a different, like they're on the other end of the scale. The thing is, when I say I don't want views controlling people, people's lives in a micro level, that
Mhm.
the same thing goes to what I think as well. You know,
Mhm.
I don't want someone who has my views to, for example, come to you or Thomas or Shelley, be like, you must follow the way he thinks. Otherwise, you know, you're a rotten piece of crap and you can't, you know, live and you don't deserve anything. I don't want that.
Mhm.
You know, like you do you, man. You know, I'm not like, why would I?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way with the micromanaging. I don't really like the micromanage. Like whatever happens, like just do it. Like whatever. I only get annoyed
Yeah.
when stuff doesn't get done. Like, I don't give a shit. Like you could be in there snorting coke, okay? As long as the job done, I don't give a fuck. But as soon as you like don't get something done, then I gotta like fucking get up your ass. Uh, you know, like. But before that,
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what you do. I don't give a damn if you show up fucking blacked out drunk, as long as you getting your job done. You know, that's kind of like my mentality for a lot of things. Like I don't care to like try to control and like do something unless you fucking up. Like, you start fucking up, yeah, you getting clamps put on you pretty bad.
But that's just because you want goals. You want the goals to be done. You know, it's not because I wanna control people's minds to make them like me. It's more like, dude, I don't care, get it done. You know, kind
Yeah,
of attitude.
don't bother me, get it
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's crazy. That's like, yo, I don't give a fuck. Like, don't bother me. You know, like when you start bothering me, then I'm like, fuck, I gotta fucking end this shit. Uh, um, what's something that stresses you out?
Ooh, what stresses me out? Stupid people on the MBTI community would be one.
Yo, everyone's stupid.
Uh,
Everyone's fucking stupid. They don't even take the time to even try to read or even try to comprehend. And then most people, when they read, they can't even interpret it right. You know, and the thing about typology is anybody could bend it any type of way when they don't follow a system or a structure. It's like fucking annoys the shit out of
yeah, like the thing is, what I mean by stupid is someone who is ignorant, knows they're ignorant, and is proud of their ignorance and displays it to the world. So because they don't feel comfortable otherwise, you know, that for me is stupid. Okay, if someone doesn't know something, that's fine. We all don't know something,
me. But
but
I got a problem more with people that actually act like they know something, but have not read or even attempted to read, but believe that their opinion should be valid, but they have not done the work for it to be valid. I have a problem with those people, you know, where they'll say, well, I know what a cognitive function is, but you ain't never read a book. You ain't never opened a book. You have no sources. You have nothing, but you know what a function is. Shut the fuck up. Like, bro, you're like not even in the pool. Like you're like we're out in the ocean, the deep ocean, and your ass is like fucking on the beach somewhere. I have a problem with those people.
yeah, I call these kind of people the PDF file experts because that's what they are, man. They read one PDF file and they're experts now. You know, yeah. I would say people like that stress me out. Overly dramatic, emotional people stress me out. And I know everyone can get emotional at some stage. I'm talking about someone who throws up their emotions at me all day, every day, with drama, with negative things. I can't handle these people. And I also can't handle working with tiny, small details that are repetitive and mundane and have no purpose. Because one of my old jobs was like that, and I hated my life at the time. So yeah, these are the main things that stress me out.
So yeah, I mean, to me, I can like when it comes to like small detail jobs, it's just annoying, and I'm bound to just like skip steps and not give a fuck. That might get me in trouble later on, but like fuck, this shit's so slow.
He's like, I want the result to be wow, magic. Here's the result.
Well, I just get
Yeah.
annoyed. Like let's say for instance, my job is in the hospital, and we do like very like step by step by step. It's kind of like SJ, STJ written type shit, and I'm just like, I can skip this step, this step, this step, and get it done way faster and done quicker, you know. And I'm just like, well, we about to skip all these fucking steps. You just better make sure none of them STJs are watching you, because if they watch you, you got to make sure that if they're watching you, you go back to the original form of things. Because if you fucking don't,
Yeah.
they gonna pull your ass and hey, you did this step here and this step. Do you could potentially mess up this, and it's just like, bro, what the fuck, like, bro.
Man, I remember high school exams, like the equivalent of high school for us. One of the my classmates was an STJ, right? And he was like, for us to get a high grade, we have to learn every word back to front of the books and every example and follow the teacher and follow everything they say. And my way is that I'm gonna do it in a way that gets me the grades. You know, I'm not gonna follow every single word. That's just a waste of time. So yeah, like it was stressing him out. I was skipping a few things, but I was like, we're not robots. We're supposed to make the robots not be robots. We meant to find new ways, you know, of doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, cool. I just used to like, even in college, dude. I never went to class. Just showed up for the fucking test. Why do I need to go to class and have you read the PowerPoint that I can fucking read? So do that for the test. But that shit
Yeah.
always kind of burned me a little bit, because sometimes they would have like participation grades, and then sometimes I'd be on the corner of getting like a A to A minus or something. And because I didn't take math to class, teachers like, no, I'm not rounding your grade up. Fuck you. It's like, fuck you. Yeah, that happened a lot.
Yeah.
Happened in organic chemistry. It's like, you
Oh,
didn't even.
I hated chemistry. Oh my god.
No, organic chemistry was fun, man. Organic.
I hate chemistry with passion.
Dude, organic is so fun because it's just pattern recognition. It's literally like pattern recognition. It was not like regular chemistry sucks ass. It's like
It
stoichiometry is
does.
terrible. That's like some high detail shit, you know. Stoichiometry is fucking terrible. But organic chemistry, biochemistry, a lot more fun because it's just pattern recognition, and understanding like how these molecules form and stuff like that. That's very, like, I don't know, it makes you seem like, I don't know, like you could solve a lot of shit. And then you learn about the human body and biochemistry. It's like, yo, I understand this, you know. So to me, it was very general chemistry, fucking trash, dude. Fucking terrible. I was like, get me out of here. Physics too. Physics too. I hated physics. Jesus, I hated physics.
I was good at physics. I was good at physics.
Fucking hated it, dude. I fucking hated physics.
Wow.
I fucking hated physics, man. But yeah, man. So man, I'm gonna go over. Thomas, are you good too?
Maybe just one more question. So what would you like to be remembered for?
Ooh, hitting the deep stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, someone who was able to make a difference in the world and actually contributed something positive before I died.
Dope.
That's mainly it. If like someone who is kind and was able to contribute something positive to the world before he died. That if that is what I'm remembered for, happy days.
Yeah, well, that's pretty modest, man.
It is. I'll be honest, because I don't like, other than my maybe direct family. When I'm dead, people's opinions are not gonna matter for me. The world is gonna keep changing. It's gonna keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to rely my entire, you know, persona based on what other people will say after me. I want what people will say while I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what matters to me more, because once I'm dead, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I always said too. Everybody was talking about, oh, you could die and all. It's like, bro, the worst thing that could ever happen to you is coming back half alive, coming back
Yeah.
maimed and shit. Like, that's the worst. Like, shit, I'd rather be dead than because it's over, it's done. But if I come back like
Yeah.
with some shit, like missing 2 arms and a leg or some shit, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be on this fucking planet.
I think a zombie Mercer would still work out though.
So I think it's zombie version. All right, brother. I'm gonna go into this because we got another one at 3.
Yeah.
Uh, when you talk, man, it's direct, man. Specific, concise, and to the point, bro. It is what it is. When you talked about typology, getting into it, you had an outcome in mind to understand people. So that was outcome, goals, and practical steps to do something. That's TE. Ways to improve, plays on self reflection. So you kind of had like a TE approach to, and SE, a TESE approach to like how to implement things and make it actual part of life instead of just keeping it in the abstract world. So that was TESE. Everyone can dream, everyone can do this. That's SE, impact the lives and dreams for people. That was like your goal in impacting lives and dreams for people. That was something you said you would go into in the next 10 years or whatnot that would make you happy. That's SE. Um, I can make a plan and be very effective. Obviously, that's TE and systematic. Uh, you said creative and fixing the system. That's systematic again. Uh, when you were talking about the MBTI community, you were like you see in people in MBTI community. That was more SE, you. You refer to your friends and family and this and that a lot. Oh, my friend, he makes a lot of money or whatever. Yeah, that was more like an SE. You didn't really go into yourself as a person. No, really, not much SI. Like not much SI. You always referring to outside sources or the environment or whatnot. So, with that being said, you didn't like too much censorship in college. You pointed that out. That was pragmatic. Okay, that means you like freedom. Okay, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
you talked about making the soccer team in 2 years, and how no one else achieved that goal, but you were able to do it, which was an outcome because you jumped straight to the fucking end of that shit. And that was achievement, TEFI. Um, you said one of the things you would like to be is the ability to be free from the government's control. That's pragmatic again. You're liking that freedom there. You don't want to be tied down. Pragmatic again. So based off all of this, you did actually make an NI prediction, even though you said you struggle with NI 4 to 5 years cancel culture and the far left. That was an NI prediction. Based off all of this, man, you're an ENTJ. Uh, just you go about it a different way, man. Not every ENTJ is like uh bloodlust or not for life. I think you probably grew up in a very well family. And that shows, why your FI seems to be a lot more developed. I notice you're not trying to cover it or protect it. As in someone like myself, I'm really everything is kind of like protect the FI. Like the key.
So like a more of a subconscious focus, you would say,
Mm,
because that's when they use FI, no?
yeah, I see. I see. That's just what I've noticed about you. You seem to be more okay with your FI. Like you don't seem to be like trying to cover it up with achievements or do a whole bunch of shit, you just like you seem to be okay with it. I don't know. I mean, it might show from the sports or whatnot. I'm not 100% sure, but you seem to have been pretty good at sports early on. That might have been like you like using your SE child very early on, as opposed to myself. I fucking sucked at sports. So like I like kind of ran away from SE child, and I don't particularly like to use it much. I'm not a big fan of it unless it's like on the weekends and I'm going out to party or something.
That's the perks of growing up in an entire family and extended family of SFs. They're all SFs, all of them. The whole lot of them, except my dad. But everyone else was. So if I didn't use some sort of sensing, function or feeling function, I wouldn't have survived that atmosphere. Honestly, like it would have been too much for me. Like
it worked. I mean, like I said, I think you had a really good family, man. Like myself, man, I grew up without a father. And it was just like me and my brothers, Personally, as myself, man, I have a lot of hatred, man. And that's what motivates me to a lot of things that I do. It's just pure hatred. Like I don't want to hate myself. So I go to the gym. If I got fat as fuck, I'd hate myself. So it's like a motivation to get up and go and do a lot of things. I don't want to be poor. So like I'd hate myself if I was poor. And it's just like this kind of thing to make myself feel good about myself by going out and achieving things and getting things done and stuff like that. It's kind of like to protect my FI inferior. As in yourself, you kind of like, bro, you're okay with it. You like, man, like it's okay. Like I'm cool. Like I got a good grasp of it. But myself, I think that's why I kind of run to a lot of things just to protect that thing. Why I want to be the best at this. Why I want to be the best at that. It's like to kind of make myself feel good as a person. But you, on the other hand, you seem to be like very like chill with it.
I think my NI sucks though. It
That would
sucks.
make sense. That would make sense for a subconscious focus. And another thing is, you came off very concrete as an ENTJ. Very concrete, dude.
Yeah.
When I asked about like abstract things, you were like, or like projecting in the future, you're like, So I mean,
even the three wishes, I think his answers were like kind of concrete.
yeah. So it would make sense that you would be subconscious focused because that part of the ENTJ would be concrete, as in the INTP side would be a little bit more abstract. So that's why.
Yeah,
That's why I went to that conclusion.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't know much about this whole UDSF stuff.
I don't really follow that
like
stuff.
the focuses and all.
Yeah.
Like I find it too complex. I'm like I can barely use two functions together, man.
That's how I feel too. I feel like once you start doing all this other shit,
But,
like you should master what you can first and then move to the next thing. Like jumping around and shit, you'll get nowhere. I feel like if you jump around and shit, you'll get nowhere. But I just what I was looking at was like, how are you much different than me? Like you're good at sports. I fucking sucked at sports. But deep down, I wanted to be good at sports, but I fucking sucked. So like I kind of shunned that part of myself. Like I shunned part of myself off. Like, and I kind of just knew it at a young age. Like I have no future in sports. Even though I was like crazy athletic, like I was one of the fastest kids, like, but I just didn't have the coordination for nothing. So I just gave up on it. And then like when I was in school, the teachers were like, "Oh, you're gifted," put me in the gifted program and everything like that. So I'm getting praised for being smart. So I just said, "Fuck that shit, man. I give up on that. That's not for me." But I wish that I would have been more like you and able to actually, enjoy sports. I always wanted to be good at sports. I always wanted to lead sport teams and all that. It was like my dream, but it just never worked out.
man, I think part of what I want to do now is like improving NI because like that would balance me more. I think I've been doing a lot of sensing relating things in my life. I think I need to like focus more on my long-term future now. That'd be great, if I can do that. If I can do that, because honestly, it does bother me because we did have a session before where one of the mentors there was like, just write down where you want to be in 5 years. It's not that difficult. And I find it very difficult.
Mhm.
And I like, when I wasn't able to do it properly, I felt so stupid. Like,
It's
you
all good.
know,
Just work on that, man. But Amir, we got another type session in 2 minutes. We gotta go, brother. It's
no
amazing,
problem.
amazing talk, man. You mind if I post this on YouTube?
Go ahead.
Perfect, man. All right, brother. See you around in the community.
Yep. Thanks, man. Have a good one.